Hi, this is Amy from paperandspool.com, and I'm here about to start work on day one of my December daily. So I had a couple of things that I wanted to show you. This is the album. If you've watched my foundation pages, you'll have seen kind of what's in it. It has shifted slightly since I made that video, and I just wanted to show you, in the interest of full transparency, what I've done here. So I really don't I do my foundation pages early because I like to have a good handle on things. But then sometimes what I find is that I get stuck in them a little bit. And so the album was good. It was full. It was pretty full. And what I wanted to do was create a little bit of space for myself. So I've gone through and I've taken, I had some extra page protectors in there. I've taken those out. I've taken a few transparencies out. And then I've taken some other things out as well. Now, this is out, but not because I'm not going to use it. So I'm still planning on using most of these things, but I want to do it in a way that feels a little bit more organic and natural as I go through the album. And this I actually have a plan for. I'm going to adhere it on a transparency instead of in a pocket. One of the things that I realized as I was looking through my album is that I was hoping to do a little bit more outside the pocket, and I just had a really large number of page protectors in the album. So I've taken some of them out, certainly not all of them. I think this is a total of like 10 things that I took out here. So it's not bad. And like I say, a lot of them might end up back in, but I've given myself a little bit of space. One of the things that I found about myself doing this project is if I don't have some space, I get a little bit stressed out. So that's what I've done there. Now, for my day one is actually already mostly done, which is kind of fun. I have this family photo on the front as kind of like a title page. And I've actually moved my intentions to the back this year. I know a lot of people do their intentions at the front, but I really like having kind of a back page. And especially with this clear back, it seemed more important than ever to me this year to have something on the back that I wanted. So this is just a transparency page I printed myself. And then here I have that gold foil edged piece from the Merry Days collection in the 6x8 paper pack. And I was really afraid I was going to ruin this. If you watched my foundation pages video, you've probably heard me say that already. I was afraid to run it through a printer or try journaling on it because I knew that just my own anxiety about wrecking it would probably cause me to make a mistake. So I found a solution that was really, really easy. I took my little intentions page that I made. This is just a little card that I made that's free for you to download on my website, paperandspool.com, under the free download section. And it was originally just a small 3x4 card. And I increased the size a little bit and printed it on a transparency. And now I can just slide that in on top. And it looks like I've printed directly onto that paper. But I haven't, and I had the opportunity to make sure that it went exactly perfectly. So that's where my intentions are. I don't know if I'm going to do anything more on here. I really like the simplicity of this. So I'm probably just going to leave that and leave it at the back of the album this year. So I'm going to flip back to the front here. So if we look inside here, I've got the December Daily banner. That's from a really old kit, and I believe I had bought 2 of that kit because I've used that banner before in a past album, but I must have had 2 of it. And then I've got my family photo here on the Merry Days, and I'm rounding the edges on my kind of base pages because the album is rounded. So I'm not going to worry about rounding corners in the page protectors, but on any kind of big page like this that I've got in the album, I'm going to round those corners. So that's just a design element that I'm going to carry through the album to give it some cohesiveness. And then on the back, I've got our calendar, and this is not going to be necessarily like a calendar of exactly what's happening. I have a few pieces on here that I know. Tonight we're going to go to Glow, which is out in St. Albert, so we're excited about that. And then we've got the start of Advent. Santa is here on day 11, but I don't know if that's the day we're going to go to Santa. In fact, my Tuesdays are crazy. It's probably not the day we're going to go to Santa. Kindergarten Christmas concert, Christmas Day, and then our New Year's Eve plans at the water park. So I've just got a scattering of ideas here on this thing, and I'm not taking this as a literal calendar, but more as a guide for the month of joy and fun. So that's kind of what I've got going on there. Now over here you can see I've printed a photo from our family photo sessions. We went out and did this in the middle of November or so and took some photos. And so it's got the three of us and our puppy Farley. And then I've just added some of the crepe paper Merry Days and the number 1. And this I did in advance because for me, I like to get a few things done in advance. I know that the month is going to be busy. And this was already done when you saw my foundation pages. So just kind of a summary of us and who we are and what we're doing. And using the piece from the Liz Tamanaha mini kit, the Paisley Press mini kit, December 2018, which I really love that chipboard. It looks great. This is an old stamp from last year's Paisley Press. Now this, I know this looks horrendous, is actually the back of a die cut tree page. So if anybody was wondering, this is what my backs look like. I've just got all the little tiny pieces washi taped down, and so that bright red that you're seeing, that's the washi tape that I used. So this is kind of all I have left to do for my day 1. And I just wanted to show you where my process kind of came from. You might have seen this, the start of this page on my Instagram already. But I have here a Country Home Holiday, and this is old. Last year, not that old. I thought it was older than that. But a magazine that I bought last year, and I wanted to give my album a little bit more of like an editorial style feel this year. To be very truthful with you, I've always hoped that someday my home or something would end up in a magazine, and I can make my own magazine, and that's kind of what my December daily is going to be like for me this year. And this is the page that I had taken as inspiration. So this is just the letter from the editor and the kind of the table of contents, that's fine. But I love this little layout here. And so what I've done is I've kind of recreated it here on a 6x8 page. And I'm gonna be attaching this home and this little piece of chipboard and calling that my day 1. So one of the things that I want to encourage you to do is, can you find some inspiration in and about your daily life? And for me, this is an awesome way to do it. So I love magazines. This is a magazine that I will keep for a while probably. I have magazines from 5 years ago. I have magazines from 10 years ago. I love home magazines. And so that's what I'm going to be doing here for my day 1. So whenever I'm attaching these big acrylic pieces, this is a big acrylic, it says home. It's from Jessica at Colorcast Designs. And so whenever I'm attaching these, I always want to make sure that they're going to stick down really, really well. So I've used a variety of things. You can use the red line tape, and if I was attaching this on the outside of the page protector, I would use the red line tape. I'm just going to be using my tape runner, and this is a permanent tape runner, not a repositionable one or anything like that. And I just try and get as much stick on the back of these as I can. And I know that this one's going to go inside the pocket, so I'm not too worried about it. As long as it stays in place, it's going to be totally fine. So I just get a little bit of stick on there. And then I always like to look from the front because occasionally, especially in a piece like this, there's spots where you can see it and I don't like to see it. So I just kind of grab it out. Sometimes I just use my finger for this. This one I just used a pen because I didn't think I could get my finger into that corner. And then I'm just going to stick it down. So when I did this page, I just made a little template in Photoshop is how I did this. And I added my journaling already in Photoshop so that it was ready to go. I just like to make sure I got everything kind of laid out. I used the color picker to pick colors out of my photos so that it would match. I wasn't too worried about the colors that I had through the rest of the album or anything like that. I just used the ones that are here because I knew it was going to be going across on something simple like this. So I'm just going to slide that into the page protector. And I love these little kind of glimpses from around the house. It's kind of a fun thing. This tree is something that I made for Max's room. And there you go. Day 1 is done. So one of the things that I'd like to encourage you to do is make sure you don't make it too complicated. This was a nice easy spread, and partially because I had done the work in advance, it was easy to do. All right, I hope I'll see you tomorrow.